Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel here in Global Conquerors, our weekly podcast, Conquest. This is episode 70, being recorded on April 24th, 2025, a little bit earlier than you usually would because this is a Thursday, not a Sunday or Saturday. But we're here with your host, SMGFrenzy, joined with...
That's an ADC as always. It seems like we're all a little bit tired due to the time we're recording this, but it seems like it's gonna be the best time for us to be recording at the same time together this week. So, um, yeah. So good luck to the people who have finals coming up. I know this is gonna be a stressful week for y'all in the next couple weeks, especially. So good luck. Try your best as always, and yeah, we're just gonna kick it off. Got a little bit, but big topics to talk about. So we're just gonna kick it.
Yeah, we'll kick off with what we left off with last week in esports and gaming, where I made a prediction that Shopify was going to win the HCS Optic Major. Well, I ate those words pretty hard, but we got one of the best Halo series of all time. Bracket reset. Optic Gaming coming from literally the beginning of the losers bracket. Not necessarily cruising, but like battling through. They battled through TSM, Infamous, Team Nemesis, Space Station, FaZe Clan, and Shopify, being the first 4-0 in the first series, then going to Game 7, beating Shopify 4-3 in a nail-biter game. That legitimately some of the best Halo I've watched ever. That was just fun to watch. So I'm not even mad that my prediction was wrong.
I watched all of it, and I predicted it right. I said Optic was gonna win the first set, the reset. I didn't think they were gonna win it like that, 4-0.
Mm.
But I called that they were gonna go Game 7. I think, right?
Yeah.
If I don't miss, I remember calling it Game 7 Optic. Boy, I'm a gambling man. I should have bet. But yeah, I mean that every game was really good.
See,
Um,
I know why Shopify lost. You wanna know why? Before Game 7 started, I went to my closet, I put on my Shopify jersey.
oh yeah, you might be cursed.
I was like, let's go Shopify, and then I just seen them get smoked in Game 7. Like, alright, nope, never mind, Angel might be right.
Um,
So I'm rooting for Optic next tournament.
why?
Because my favorite coach, Lunchbox, is coaching them.
The GOAT. That's the greatest coach of all time,
He
bro.
truly is.
You see how much of a difference a coach makes to the team? That I see why Optic picked him up as their coach.
Which makes me confused why they dropped him in the first place for Tusk. Just to bring him back anyways.
And that's what I like about Lunchbox. He didn't take that to heart. He didn't take it as like disrespectful when they dropped him and then picked him back up.
Exactly.
What confused me the most is that he was how available he was going into the first tournament.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, this whole like the podcast and all that, they were talking about how good of a coach he is and how much he's done for them. I
Yeah.
mean, these guys talked about like they've never had a coach like that give so much more effort and like wanting. He wants them to win more than he wants to for him to win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not like other coach. You know how some coaches like when they win, they want to be the first one to hold the trophy. I'm like,
No.
but he's very humble. I see why he's very respected. He was a great pro at the time, so he knows what it takes to win, and you know, he understands that he could put a little bit inputs that can help change the game. But man,
Exactly.
but it seemed like the more Optic played this week, the more better they looked.
Yeah. No, you're not
Um,
wrong at all. Really, the only two teams that were able to give Optic any trouble were Shopify, which is the team that sent them to the losers bracket, and then Team Nemesis, which was a team that nobody thought, especially as a European team, would be able to hold with Optic. So, I mean, props to
I mean,
Optic for showing up as they did, and like we said last week, also props to just all the Halo teams in general. It was a very fun event, regardless of whatever series you
if
watched.
I think Nemesis would have made a run if they didn't get dropped to losers
Mm-hmm.
and didn't play Optic first.
Mm.
That's a dark horse team. They will definitely make noise next tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, but dude, best Halo I've seen this weekend, especially from Optic and Shopify. I mean, if you're gonna learn how to play Halo, you gotta watch those two teams.
Yep.
But like I said, obviously the people were critiquing on how I'm gonna try to be quick, but obviously they were critiquing I don't know on Optic's playstyle because those are the most four not OBJ heavy players, but
Yep.
it seemed like Legend was doing it most of the time.
Mhm.
But I mean that's an MVP, so he'll have his takeoff moments, and then Formal will be the second guy. Um, but I mean, Renegade, dude, he became Renegade for a reason this tournament.
Yeah,
Think about that team, and it makes sense, bro. Renegade has been um always been in the top candidates for MVP every year, and you can see why. And
exactly.
especially a roster full of superstars like that. He played better than he's had in any of his like seasons. He said. So I don't know if it because it makes the game easy, but dude, they look insane. Like they got better over time. Like after the Nemesis, they they turned up.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure, for sure.
It was probably the best Halo weekend. Like this is the first one, like official.
Well, it's like we get to see like long-standing pros still show off that they're still good. We get to see the young blood also showing off that they're good. We get to see the European region come to like fruition that we haven't seen since Halo 5, showing off that they're still competitive. We got to see the one and only keyboard player showing off that bro's still cracked. We get to see like I said, new blood like Sickle on Shopify showing that he's also probably going to be in the scene for a hell of a long time with his performance. So, and we're also seeing people like Formal quite literally carrying Optic throughout most of the games, which is crazy to think about. So, it was just generally good Halo all the way around. Like I don't think anyone can complain about this weekend.
If that's what we're expecting for the first, I can't imagine what the next four are gonna be. It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be
Like
fun. Like very, and I can't wait for the tournament where it's the one where Halo and COD are at the same venue, because that will be fun to watch. And I will say this right now, this might be controversial to the COD fans. Sub in the Optic Halo roster for the Optic COD roster, they would be playing way better than the current Optic COD rosters in COD.
pretty much. Um, we're not gonna talk about that. But the tournament just started, so we'll talk about it maybe the following
Following,
podcast.
yeah,
But right now we're talking about Halo, and
yeah.
yeah, best Halo. I think this is the best competitive. I mean, it sucks because all the previous year there's like more teams competing,
Mhm. But
but
now we
this
have
year,
big name teams.
huh?
Now we have big name teams though. We've had like
Yeah,
more
but
proper orgs come in this year.
but the two teams dominating the whole damn is just gonna be Optic and Shopify. But if that's what we're gonna get from them,
Yeah,
then I'm all for it.
I think it
Obviously,
works though.
Phase will look good. Obviously, Space Station will figure it out eventually.
Yeah. I mean, it works for Halo though because FaZe, Optic, Shopify, they're all teams that have big fan bases. People will come to watch Optic play anything. Same with FaZe. Shopify's getting there as an
Gen
org, and then you have teams that have legacy names like TSM, like Gen G, like Cloud9 that are still in the scene, which is surprising. And like people will see like, wait, Gen G and Halo? I'm gonna go check that out. TSM and Halo? I gotta go like what is happening in Halo. So having these big orgs segue and stay in is like really, really, really good for the scene. And also like having teams that are still like player run, like Team Nemesis, also still really good for the scene. So Halo arguably is in one of the best spots it's been in a long time. And viewership passed 100K this weekend too, so Halo's like chilling, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, good results. Yeah. If you don't mind, I'll take over the next topic.
Yeah, go for it.
Pretty much Optic won, and it was like the best Halo. Just to know that this man eating Whataburger. You went to Whataburger?
I
It's
did.
good, isn't it?
It is good. Their
Um,
spicy ketchup, also really good.
he looked godlike. I'm so happy they have it down here now.
Same, same.
Um, yeah. So on to the next topic. Envy signed probably the greatest. I mean, one of the greatest FPS shooters of all time, in my opinion. He's up there. Snipe down, professional Halo player, professional Apex Pro, now content creator. I mean, that's where he originally. I mean, besides EG, he was pretty much on Envy most of the time. So I mean, it's good to see him go back to where it was the most for him. So
I'm gonna tell you
it's
right
good to
now,
see.
that promo video they did of him coming back to Envy gave me like some emotional age whiplash. I was like, damn, I was 13 when this man was on Envy. Now I'm
Yeah,
about to coming up quickly on 25, and this man's back on Envy.
full circle, man. But yeah, man, good for him, man. I mean, pretty. pretty happy for him, man. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, especially Envy making big name
Mhm.
pickups in the recent return. So happy. He's a great pickup, and I know he's a great personality as well. So
Yep,
you know it's perfect. It was just a perfect match. So it's good to see that he went back to where he belonged. So good for
absolutely.
him.
It's
Good
great
for
to
him.
see him back on the boys and blue team again. So it just feels right. Is the main thing. It really does. But to move away from that to our last topic for esports and gaming, Valorant in the past week announced actually that they will be releasing a Valorant mobile edition with its first play trials happening in China this year, relatively soon. And obviously China is one of the biggest market bases for Valorant, and with all that player base, you'll be able to get a lot of testing, a lot of feedback, a lot of data to see what works, what doesn't work, and be able to improve the international version. But people I think weren't really expecting a shooter like Valorant or like in that vein like CS shooters to have a mobile version because it's a very tactical game. Like even like mouse and keyboard versus controller, mouse and keyboard on like a Valorant or Counter Strike way outpaces controller. So having this now on a mobile platform will be interesting to see where they take it. I imagine this will not be crossplay because that would
No,
probably be really bad for the the mobile players. But it'll be curious to see how this turns out. Like honestly, because like League has a mobile version and we thought it wouldn't work mobile, but it does. But also that version of League also plays so differently from PC League that there just cannot be crossplay because abilities have to be different, gameplay has to be different. So I imagine Valorant will probably be in a similar vein.
that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
um, I think what I'm expecting is some phone company is gonna partner with them to boost revenue on phones and the game. Like remember when Fortnite did the icon skin?
Hmm.
I think they did it with Samsung. I think.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. It was the Galaxy. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that just to help marketing. Uh, Once it's released to the North America parts or worldwide mainly.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not surprised that you're getting a mobile game. I mean, obviously the game's gonna play a lot different because it's obviously some games aren't meant to be played as besides like obviously Valorant is made for PC.
Correct. Yeah.
Obviously they released the console version of Valorant, and obviously we once that happened, we were kind of expecting it to fall in place with for the mobile.
Hmm.
Um, so we're gonna be expecting a Valorant mobile esports scene. So
Literally.
more
Yeah.
esports coming. Yeah, mobile scene's growing, man. I mean, they deserve some love. I mean, not everyone can do it. But I mean, more esports coming in different ways, and can't wait to see. I'm pretty sure they'll probably run it the same format, maybe a little different because
Hmm.
obviously mobile isn't a big esport, but they do have a lot of games in that region in that category. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of excited to see what's next. And
If
um,
anything, it'll take off in China. Just China has the biggest market for mobile esports. So.
yeah. So like I said, I think it might be partnered when it comes to NA or worldwide. I mean, more than anything, it could be partnered with a phone, and I'm assuming it would be more of a Samsung type of deal phone. So yeah, we'll
Okay.
see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. That ends
But
it with the esports and gaming. We're gonna head over to general news. Well, I'll let you handle this one. WrestleMania happened this past weekend, and heel turner John Cena once again walked away with another belt under his sleeve after a match that Cody Rhodes arguably should have won because he pinned Cena for far more than 3 seconds. However, Cena took out the referee twice during that match.
Travis
So,
Scott was there, dude.
which was did not expect at all.
Look, I get this might be the worst like WrestleMania in recent time,
Uh-huh.
but and especially the seating was hella expensive.
Yeah.
But um the stories leading up to this was pretty good. So it just sucks that they didn't deliver, like on some aspects. Obviously I knew Cena was gonna win because there's no way they weren't gonna give it to him, and obviously this opens up the doors for um their biggest like superstar of all time in the decades to finally get what he wants. Like, I mean, just think about it. They're literally saying this is the last time you'll ever see him wrestle, like ever. He said he will never wrestle again, no matter what.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, it was pretty. I watched it. I mean, obviously the ending was controversial, but that's what a bad guy does. I mean, he wins in the dirtiest way. But I think people weren't as mad because they were. It's crazy to think because he's a bad guy, right? And they obviously bad guys get booed, but everyone was cheering for him to like do it. So
You could see him
um,
trying to hold back a smile each
he was
time.
he was obviously he was happy that he got what he wanted and to win it as a bad guy more than anything because it's just something he's been wanting and they wouldn't pull the trigger on. But
Yep.
yeah, you could tell he was happy and he obviously he had to play the villain role and he had to. And man, so it was very. I kind of got teary because this will be the last time I ever watch him wrestle, and that'd probably be the last time he ever hold that a gold championship
Yep.
ever. So no, it makes sense. I mean, he has the most win world championships, or the world championship won in WWE history.
Yep.
And I mean, it couldn't, it should have, it couldn't have been anyone else but him to do it because I mean, how you've been watching John Cena way back then, and he was always the face of WWE. So I mean, if it was gonna happen, like to anyone to break that record, it should have been him. Like it just, he deserved it, and it's happy, stuff like that. So more so that, but WrestleMania was okay. But I mean, obviously, it's just more so this year's gonna be about John Cena's retirement tour. So,
Yep.
but once he's, I think, gone, they'll finally be able to move on into the up and coming future of wrestling. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, wrestling has been the hottest has been such a long time. Like so, it's good to see. Childhood still ticking. But yeah,
Yeah,
but other than
exactly.
that, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun time at WrestleMania. But to move over to a little bit more somber news, there was surprise news the past few days where Pope Francis, the head of the Catholic Church, passed away at age 88. As many of us know who's been following news, even just mildly, Pope Francis had like deteriorating health conditions over the past year. He hasn't made many public appearances because of that. He's largely done a lot of closed like door things because exposure to diseases and stuff you don't exactly want that for someone at his age at his state. And one of his very final acts was meeting current U.S. Vice President during his meeting. But yeah, it was a shock to hear. Just one day he seemed relatively okay, and the next day he's gone, and that is honestly how life is at times. But now, of course, the Catholic Church will be conducting a conclave to help now elect a new pope in the next month or so. I believe it's 25 to 30 days. And of course, with that, we have nominees from all the different archbishops from around the world. So we'll be hearing news on that relatively soon. But of course, it is, I guess, one of the largest, at least so far in this year, the largest. I don't even want to say celebrity deaths, just like I'm not even trying to frame it, but like largest impactful deaths in the world at the moment. Because the Catholicism, I believe, is the world's biggest religion. At 1 billion Christians that follow it. So it's like it's a big deal when it comes to things, and especially as a person who helped not just the Catholic Church, but also held good relations with leaders in the Jewish world, leaders in the Muslim world, leaders in the Hindu world, leaders in the Buddhist world, and so on and so forth. As someone who just spread did good things for humanity, it's a big deal that this has occurred when it has, especially with how unstable the world is at the moment. So we'll see what happens in the next few months at the Vatican. But that's on that end. Tomorrow over to
Uh,
what's up?
you know, make it's not a bad, it's a joke that someone told me, but it's like he met the VP and said, "Nope, I'm out."
Uh huh.
It was like, nah. He's like, not this guy, and then it was just a joke. Obviously, it's very sad. Obviously, I think I woke up to the news. Uh, it's crazy because I woke up to um a sports notification of like the Italy league, canceling all their matches, and
Mm.
then due to the passing of the Pope, and then that's when my phone started blowing up like, oh, the passing of Pope Francis. It comes really to a shock because he did obviously he did the, what would you call it, the Easter, it's not, obviously it was on Easter day, but I don't know what the actual like name of that day is, and he was out there with the people. I think he was, drive I think driving, they were driving him around
Yeah.
seeing people, I think. And then just the next day that happens, and obviously his health was being very monitored, and obviously, you
Exactly.
know, so
Yeah.
Very sad day but yeah. I mean,
And it is just how it is being human sometimes. Sometimes you see someone, they look relatively fine, the next day they're not. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate news, and we'll be updated, of course, in the next month or so what happens with the appointment of a new pope. And to move over to news that is very personal to the platform that we're using, Discord. Discord has announced that they will be getting a new CEO. His name is Humam Sakini, who was the former vice chairman of Activision Blizzard. And he'll become the new CEO of Discord effective now. Actually, when I wrote the script, it said next week because it was written the week before. But Discord's current CEO actually resigned earlier today, so Humam Sakini is now the Discord CEO as of when we're recording this, and this has brought in a lot of worry because, as we know, Activision Blizzard hasn't necessarily been in the greatest of spots in the past few years. They've garnered a reputation that EA has, which is like microtransactions and penny pinching, and people are very concerned that Discord already has kind of been moving towards that route, and now adding somebody who very clearly was a part of Activision Blizzard in pursuing that in a very aggressive manner will also make Discord in a similar way. So I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm just cautious to see where things go. The second that they start charging me, Discord already charges you like when you try to upload a file bigger than 10 megabytes, which is already ridiculous because you can barely send anything of that size. And of course, Discord charges people for like cool emotes or whatever. I really don't care. But if it's like you're limited by how many servers you can join or stuff like that, I'm like actually gonna lose my mind. So
let's just hope they don't change anything and just leave it how it is.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Discord will be looking like. We might not even be recording these podcasts on Discord anymore. Maybe we don't know. We'll see.
That's the concern. He also was previously one of the executives who worked on what's this, Candy Crush. And you wonder, we don't hear about Candy Crush much these days anymore because the game kind of got killed by this dude. So that's why everyone's like very worried, to say the least. So we'll see what happens in Discord. If we're not recording in Discord in a few months, you know exactly why. Come back to episode 70 because we talked about it. But I think besides that, I guess quick updates. Daredevil Born Again finished recently. Freaking fantastic season finale. Um, Go watch that. Andor season 2 came out. First 3 episodes. Binge that. That is a Star Wars movie that's better than the Star Wars movies that are actually movies. I will say that right now. Star Wars Episode 3 returned back to theaters tonight, the night that we're recording this, and will be in theaters for about a month.
The
Um,
Thunderbolt will be coming out that day too, which is I heard it's hella good, and I will
yeah,
be getting my tickets.
will also be
Um,
there.
so
Thunderbolts, exciting news. Um, Amazon Prime, I'm not sure if they meant this in a very morbid way or not, is releasing the movie Conclave, which talks about the succession of the Pope. It's already been released as of when we're recording this, because they announced this the same day that the Pope Francis passed. So people are like, was this planned or was this intentional? You know,
or was it wicked coincidence?
we genuinely don't know. Somebody at Amazon knows, and they will not tell us.
Hey
Uh,
Simpsons, we need to talk about y'all because y'all have predicted everything correct in the last century of world history. So
yep.
whoever your writers at, we need to talk about them because they're either from the future or something, bro. Because that don't make no sense. Tell me that does not make sense.
It really doesn't, but they've gotten so many things right, or almost right, that it's impressive to say the
Very.
least. Very, very impressive. What?
Okay.
Um.
I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick. I think we're good. So if you want to close us out.
Well, thank you guys for watching this episode. Weird day to record it, so there might be a lot of stuff that happens from tomorrow or from
The called major.
April 25 till whenever this comes out. There'll be a lot more. Obviously, the con major will be done and concluded. So, um, we'll see who wins that. I'm thinking Thieves are gonna win it.
Sure as hell ain't Optic.
No, no,
I'm putting my bets. Vegas Falcons top 6 finish.
Where are your Optic jersey tomorrow?
I gotta buy one first.
Where Optic related thing?
I don't even know where. I think we all know Optic's probably gonna lose, which is
They look terrible.
yeah. Only team who's lost to Falcons, by the way. Still, watch it be
The
2 for
Falcons.
2.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't really care. I have given up on their season. I watched it and I literally watched them lose the first game. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And I didn't watch it. They got 30 up.
They got
6-0.
6-0 in S&D.
Yeah, I said fuck it. No.
Like what?
Anyways. Oh yeah, but like I said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when we upload, and follow our socials down below. And rest in peace, Pope Francis. And comment down below anything y'all want to talk about, which we missed. Your ideas and your opinions on anything. So, with that being said, we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.